Hi guys, welcome to Ruby Reads Tarot. I am Ruby. I've got a Mercury Retrograde in the sign of Cancer 2020 pick a card special for you guys today. I really enjoyed the last one we did, so I thought it'd be fun for us to do another one for this very ceremonious occasion. Mercury Retrograde in the sign of Cancer 2020. It's a big one, right? Hold on to your seats. I think this is definitely going to be one of those rides that will help redefine us, okay? And redefining us, it means going back to the drawing board. It means really being quite prepared to be very open, vulnerable, and honest, and see where this journey takes us. Right, so we all know that Mercury doesn't actually go retrograde. Mercury, being the ruler of Gemini and Virgo, is a very fast-paced planet. When it's in retrograde, everything is being asked to be slowed down, perhaps, relooked, revisited, renewed. Now, the period of this Mercury retrograde, I've got my notes here, so we'll be going back to the notes because I think there's a lot of important points to be noted for this season. I think we will pull 4 cards, maybe 5. Let's do 5 cards for this occasion. And I think I will be clarifying with the Psychic Tarot as well as the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. I will have all details of the cards in the description box below, of course. So we've got the period from the 18th of June, 17th in some places, and that goes all the way through to the 12th of July. And it's important for many different reasons, and I think this one is very significant because it's smack bang in the middle of 3 eclipses. We're well and truly into eclipse season, and we've got a solar eclipse taking place this weekend on the 21st in the sign of Cancer. As a new moon, you can be expected to really consider newness within what you're doing, the things that you're doing. I'm not going to take any of those. Consider the newness in your life. What is it that you want newness in? What is it that you wish to start anew? Being Mercury retrograde in the sign of Cancer, which has a lot to do with our home, our house, who feels like home, family, close relationships, as well as money. Intentional movement is quite an important one too. Now, as I did say, it is smack bang in the middle of eclipse season, so it is a bit of a wake-up call. Where is it that we've been stuck in shadows? Where is it that we have been caught up in a pattern of negativity or darkness, things that we should be more consciously aware of? What it is we're putting out into the world. This is a really good time for a bit of self-awareness. Being aware of how we are in public. Being aware of how we are in private, and tying that into our shadow self, seeing where it is that we might be holding ourselves back. Negative emotional patterns like fear, like jealousy, are all things that must be looked at this stage. I think I've got all 5 cards. Alright guys, so I've got all 5 cards now. I'd like you to take a minute, take a deep breath, focus on a question that you might have. And then I'd like you to focus on the cards. We've got card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4, and card 5. I'll give you a minute. Just take a deep breath. Try and connect with the cards. Should we begin? Alright, group number 1. For you, I have the 8 of Wands. So, the 8 of Wands is quite apt. It is the card of movement, conclusion, taking action. It indicates that things are about to move really quickly for you, okay? If you've been waiting for something to change, if you have been waiting to move, I think it's about to happen. Things really are about to move at such a great speed. Just make sure that you are in a position that you can keep up, right? I have here instinct. I think this Mercury retrograde for you, group number 1, really is going to be a time of having your wits about you, knowing that the time really is now, That is so, like, such a perfect mix. I think there are no obstacles here. I think you have really got to rely on your instincts. You really got to be able to rely on what you've learned, what you know, and what you feel. A lot of this might even mean having to mute out a lot of what is going on around you, just so that you can focus your energy exclusively on being very present with yourself. Now, this Mercury retrograde in the sign of Cancer has got a lot to do with being more aware of ourselves in public, being aware of how we may cause inconveniences to others, or how we are deliberately causing inconvenience to ourselves. Okay? I think this movement that you will be having might be quite self-oriented. I think you might find that you are going from being less conscious to more conscious, and it's going to be like almost like a spiritual journey even. This has a lot to do with moving too, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if you find yourself moving really quickly. And then they generally do say that Mercury isn't the time to move, but I think when life prompts you to go, you really have to take the cue. And sometimes things like Mercury retrograde throw things into action for us, because it's almost like using this period to really focus, re-energize, and really get to the crux of the issue now. And I feel like with all this fast-paced movement, with your own instinct being very finely tuned, you know, nurture your relationship with the lunar cycles a little bit. So pay attention more to what's happening around you in regards to your own shadow self, like how you look at yourself and how you're putting yourself out there in front of other people. Be very aware of the negativity that you're absorbing from other people too. There is darkness here, but there's no obstacles here. The card that came out for you from the Psychic Tarot deck was Passion Ignited. I think this time for you really is going to be group number 1. A time about moving very quickly in a direction that you've had planned, plotted, maybe even, you know, been hoping for. And it's going to get you really excited about this next phase of your life. I think there's going to be a journey that you'll be going on, not necessarily just like a physical one, but I do think that's very possible. I feel as if like an emotional journey too, and it's got to do with you putting you at the forefront. You're really muting out a lot of external noises, finding healthy outlets for you to be able to channel and express the energy that you have that's burning inside you. And you've really got to use this period to focus intently on what it is that can get you from A to B. And sometimes that means just taking the leap and, you know, moving forward in the direction that the universe is choosing for us. And I feel like if you are thinking of moving, this is a great time to do it. You should anticipate joy. You should anticipate happiness. If you have been feeling a bit stagnant and a bit stuck, I would say just really channel into the things that make you happy at the moment, because they will really be able to pull you out of a situation where you may have felt like you weren't able to use your instincts, and now you really can. Ultimately, this move is very, very heavily dependent on what gets you stimulated. And it's already got a lot to do with stuff that you already know, your instincts, right? Just don't dither. It's time to take action. It's time to be the doer. It's time to do. I think that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope you enjoyed. To book a reading, visit rubyreadstarot.com, and I shall catch you again soon. At group 2, I have for you this Sun card. How beautiful. Now, we're entering Cancer season. We're entering the season of summer. Also, Cancer initiates the beginning of summer. Now, this for you can mean a lot of really, really wonderful things. This is a card of happiness. It's a time of rejoicing in wonderful news. It is the time of the flowers blossoming, the you know, high sun. It is a time of longer evenings. It's a time of being more productive, getting more done. It's also a time of connecting with family. This Mercury retrograde in the sign of Cancer has everything to do with home. It has everything to do with family. It's got everything to do with our relationships with, you know, our family. This for me, I think, is a lot to do with reconnecting. I think if you've been recently going through a lot of drama, if you've been recently going through a rough patch, I think periods of negativity are about to end for you. It can also mean literal like sunshine, travel, spending more time in the sun, maybe traveling somewhere with a bit of sun. So if you've been planning a holiday, now's a good time for it. I think the sun card has a lot to do with the energy that we put into something. So if you've been working quite hard on something, this might be the time that you get the payout that you really wanted. Mercury retrograde is, for me, this card is really saying make sure you spend as much time as you can from the sun, because we do receive a lot of initiation, like downloads, initiative downloads, if you will, when we spend time in the sun. So connecting to your solar plexus, wearing the color yellow, also group number 2. Work with the sun's energy, so work with the sun's influence. Stay optimistic. Do not even entertain ideas of failure. I think the sun card is a lot to do with reviving our energies, staying positive. And I feel as if the more vitamin D you're prone to get at this time, you'll find that your mood generally will be quite helpful in lifting not only your spirits, but in lifting the situation that you have with your friends and family. The key here could be with a significant Gemini also, but the key here really is to focus on growth and development, revitalizing yourself, giving yourself the opportunity to iron out or put some light on miscommunications. Family time, I think, is really important here. So stay very clear of anything other than energy of resolution, reviving, right? Think all the rows. Let's have a card for group number 2 to clarify the sun card for Mercury retrograde in 2020. I want to say there's a lot to do with opportunities with the sun card as well, so make sure that you are open to receiving. Remind yourself every morning, the first thing you do when you wake up, just tell the universe, today I'm ready to receive all the abundant good news you have to bring me. Be as simple as that, just to change your own perspective about a certain situation. I've got 3 cards that have come out from the Chakra Oracle deck. I've got impartiality, I've got trickery, and I've got prayer. Excuse me. Okay. So, with the sun card and prayer, I would like to say that this is perhaps a really spiritually inclined time for you. Connecting to what you want has a lot to do with prayer first, I think. So before we see things manifesting through into our life, we've got to be really cognizant that we are praying for them. However you do that is entirely up to you. I've got more yellows, so this is a lot to do with your solar plexus. Do you believe you're worthy of what you want? Right, try and create as much positive energy around you. So doing the things that are high vibrational, taking care of your body, go and have a shower, you know, make yourself a nice bubble bath, cook yourself some beautiful food. In this Mercury retrograde with trickery card here, in regards to family, if you see some sort of drama taking place, if someone's being a bit dodgy and you already know it, I would say impartiality. Try and draw your attention away from that person as much as possible, bring yourself back to your center, and let, you know, the universe deal with somebody who's not doing or living to their best selves. Impartiality, I think you might also need to create a bit of a distance between you and your goals. If you've been focused too heavily on what it is that you're hoping to achieve, if you're always on it, it's like I always say, if you've planted some seeds, you wouldn't dig them up the next day to see if they've done anything. Give what you want out to the universe, give it to God, and then be patient and be in an open receptive mode, because it seems like you might even be tricking yourself out of what your dues are, right? Take a bit of time for yourself, Take a bit of time in prayer and meditation. Create a bit of distance between you and control over the outcome. I think with the Sun card, the outcome is going to be brilliant anyway. Trickery. Do be very careful of miscommunications. And I've got the Crown Chakra for you, group number 2. Crown Chakra for me very much is focusing on the energy of releasing control. Almost trying to get hold of our higher self. When we live in our Crown Chakra, when our Crown Chakra is activated, we're living in our higher self, which means we're doing everything for the best of everyone involved, not necessarily just for ourselves. Trickery and Crown Chakra, rise above it, right? If you see some sort of foul play taking place around you, be mindful of it, distance yourself from it as much as you can, but remain in forgiveness mode, remain in gratitude mode. Why? Because that means what you're praying for will come forward, because you are only executing you are only vibrating on the highest frequency possible. And I think with the Sun card, you've got a potential of having a really, really productive, fruitful Mercury retrograde season. I think that's all I have for you, group number 2. To book a reading, visit rubyreadstarot.com. Do give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and click the notification bell if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to be notified about when I make more. Take care, guys, and I shall catch you again soon. Hello, group number 3. For you, I have the 9 of Wands. Now, the 9 of Wands is about a situation that you may have found to be, or even a phase or time in your life that you might find that things aren't necessarily going in your way. Do you see how he's a bit battered and bruised? He's got that bandage around his head and he's surrounded by all these wands. I think this is definitely a card where you've got to be quite mindful during this Mercury retrograde in Cancer about yourself. Right? Mindful of how you react when problems come to surface. Mindful of how your relationships, past, present, have led to you being in this kind of negative state, or expecting the worst, or being quite burdened, or maybe having your barriers or your boundaries violated. I think you've got to make peace with where you're at right now. And I would use this Mercury retrograde period to really look at any unconscious emotional patterns of thinking. Security. Do you see how he's surrounded by all of those ones? What does security mean to you? How are you craving security? Is your root chakra activated? In this period of time, I would not wouldn't avoid, or I wouldn't escape, I wouldn't hide. I would try and see why certain obstacles were put in your path, what it is that you have learned from them, how far it's brought you. Remind yourself why you are doing what you're doing, and if it is helpful to you, if it is conducive to you. Does it serve you to have that frame of thinking? Is there new ways that you can factor in change, and what you can do to change the situation around you? I think be open to help. If people are offering to help you at this moment, I would see it with only the best of intentions. Perception. This is big. Right, so self-awareness also comes into perception. How are you looking at your world? Is everything being viewed with a very negative tint? Where is it that you can be benefited by putting on a pair of rose-coloured glasses? Is it that you are being your own obstacle? Are you your own obstacle? Right, your perception. Where is it that you're seeing a situation as being a lot worse than it is? Or where are you seeing yourself as not being able to help yourself as much as you can? I think practicing positivity. Actually, you know what? Use this Mercury retrograde as a period of clarification, right? Really clarify everything. Your relationships, how people around you make you feel, what it is you can do to forgive the people around you, and how things that, you know, family problems that might be coming to the surface, memories that you might be going through, you know, relieving the past. This, I feel like, is going to be a great time for you to get revelations. You know, the things that were blocking you, you might begin to understand how they are things that are actually coming up now to help you redefine who you are moving forward into the future. I think this is going to be a really good time for you to heal relationships with the people around you. Reconnect, reconcile, strengthen bonds with people. See where it is that you may have been, you know, really needing to maybe put down things like intoxicants or substances that were altering your frame of thinking. I've got 2 cards that have come out from the Chakra, the Psychic Oracle deck. I've got Spiritual Strength and I've got Partnerships and Alliances. Listen, I think you might have been really quick to write off certain people, certain relationships. And I think this Mercury retrograde, with a shift in your perception, with a little bit of work that you're willing to do, and maybe become aware of where it is that you're absorbing a lot of this negativity from, practicing meditation. Meditation is the best thing that you can do to help you balance out yourself, balance out the negativity, draw in some more positivity, try and connect to source a lot more. Partnerships and alliances. It looks like family bonds, friendships, even reconciliations might be quite a predominant theme for you in this Mercury retrograde. The key to this really is to be as open to releasing negativity, as open as you possibly can, to like begin to see things in a different way. If you've been seeing things in a negative way, try and put on the rose-colored glasses. And I think a lot of what you are willing to release at this time will help shift the direction of your life, just by the willingness that you will have to adapt to the fact that times are changing. You've got to strengthen your spiritual muscles right now. So really practice prayer, really practice meditation. Do these rituals, right? What are rituals? Rituals are us pouring out energy into certain actions that draw us closer to the things that we want to achieve. So see it as that. Practice your spirituality as much and as often as you can. And I would really expect some fantastic news in regards to your partnerships and alliances. You might be rekindling your family relationships. You might be creating new bonds, creating new alliances with people that end out to be long-term friends. Or you might be welcoming new family into your life. The possibility of reuniting with friends, but this time taking a whole different approach to the friendship, is very likely right now. Ultimately, your perception is something that you need to work on. And I think this retrograde period is going to have a lot to do with how you define yourself after it. So a real redefining period for you, group number 3. I hope you found that helpful. To book a reading, visit rubyreadstarot.com. Don't forget to like the video, share and subscribe. Also, and click the little bell button to notify you when there are new videos that I've made. Take care, guys, and I shall catch you again soon. Hi, group number 4. For you, I have the Devil card. Right, so the Devil card has many connotations, and a lot of them are definitely tricky. But for the most part, I think the Devil card offers us options. If you found yourself, group number 4, in a situation recently where you might have had an overbearing personality around you, or you might have felt quite limited or stuck to a certain situation, I think the choice and this Mercury retrograde offers you an opportunity to really relook at the things that have held you bound. This could be your own thoughts. This could be the actions or the thoughts of someone else. This can be feeling like you're not in control necessarily of your own life, right? Feeling like there are external forces that are controlling your life at the present. And I think if that's the case, this Mercury retrograde in the sign of Cancer is going to have a lot to do with you working on your confidence levels. We have Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, all retrograde in the sign of Capricorn at the moment. And this might really have a lot to do with the choices that you have made previously, the karma that you're now playing out in your present moment, and the decisions and the proactiveness that you need to display in this time. And it's not even about acting without thinking about it. This might even be spending a lot of time thinking about the things that you need to change in your life. It does make me think about miscommunications that do need to be cleared up within the family, this being Mercury retrograde in the sign of Cancer, which has a lot to do with family, house, home. Think about where miscommunications will highlight what needs to be healed. I think this is a very good time for reconnecting, reconciling and strengthening bonds, but it might also be a time where you really need to look quite honestly at memories of the past, where you might be reliving past situations, where family issues, mum issues, dad issues have sort of affected you, where it is that you might be absorbing negativity from others, how it is you could be a lot more consciously aware of the energy that you have at the moment. It is a lot to do with self-awareness. It's a lot to do with how mindful we are in the present moment. So group number 4, the 2 cards that have come out from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck are the Grief card and the Wisdom card, Vanity card even. You see that? I can't see that, sorry. Grief and Vanity. You know, there might be options that you have at the moment, and I think you might be it will really serve you, group number 4, to not let decisions based on superficial things get in the way of really important changes that you need to make in your life at the moment. The Vanity card for me suggests things that you might be doing to show other people. The Vanity card might be showing things that you're doing in your now that might be a detriment to your future. This can, I mean, they've got drink in their hand. So where it is that you might be overindulging in addictions, in drinking too much or dabbling in drugs, or, you know, things that might necessarily bring your vibration down, right? You need a positive distraction right now, I would say. And with the Vanity card, I don't think you should place energy on other people. I don't think you should place the energy that you really need to focus on surrendering yourself to, you know, surrendering control over a situation, or even releasing certain people, certain ways of thinking in your life. You might really benefit from creating a distance between you and certain things that you know are not good for you. Grief card. If you are not happy in your life at the moment, group number 4, then I think it would be a good time for you to maybe begin to think about the things that you can do to change things up in your life. Honest conversations that you might need to have, maybe deciding to leave certain situations because, you know, you might be stuck in a negative situation for all the wrong reasons. And I think this grief, this period, this Mercury retrograde might have a lot to do with how unconscious emotional patterns of thinking are affecting your well-being, your levels of security, how secure you are within yourself. Are you coming out? I think you are. The card I have for you, group number 4, is emotional withdrawal. So you might find yourself reclusing at this point. And I think you might find yourself pulling away. And I think if you decide to take the journey towards spiritual retreat, I think spiritual enlightenment, it might involve retreat. Emotional withdrawal, pulling away from situations that you already know are quite difficult or quite tricky or perhaps even toxic for you, will benefit, you will really, really benefit from walking away from them during this Mercury retrograde and really allowing yourself to heal once and for all. And I think you might find that you do need a bit of space in this Mercury retrograde to just take a bit of time out from the things that you know. Like if you've been placing too much emphasis on house, car, money, job, people, I think this might be a bit of a spiritual wake-up call for you. And it might even be like this time might really need to be about you taking your space, you finding a healthy outlet, right? You being objective about who you should hold on to and who you should really let go of. I think also the negativity that you might be absorbing from television, from media, social media, other people, it would be a really good time for you to disconnect. Oh, sorry, shadow. I've got the shadow card here. This is a lot of facing your internal self, healing that, you know, doing that inner child healing work, just sitting with your inner child for a bit. Thinking about mother wounds, father wounds, and how a lot of what is being played out in the media might be really affecting you and how it might have you behaving in a way, the devil card, that isn't necessarily like conducive to your happiness. And if anything, it's only adding to your grief. You know, this vanity, keeping up appearances, doing things for the sake of, you know, public appearance even. It's just not the time for it. Emotional withdrawal, to work on your shadow self, to release yourself from whatever these burdens, addictions, ties, toxic ties are. And being willing to sacrifice everything that is not ultimately lined up in your better judgment. The devil card here also makes me think that there might be a few rituals or practices that you need to do that mean that you are channeling into your higher self and operating from that self. Is that all I have? I think a lot of this might have to do with getting some fresh air, going outside, going on a vegan diet for, you know, starting off even a week vegan, getting rid of toxic things in our body as well, like toxic thoughts as well as, you know, toxins. So flushing out your system, maybe going on a juice cleanse or drinking, you know, a lot of water or something. A real call of removing. The camera froze there. So with the devil card, I would say have a good detox, release and let go of anything that's holding you back, something that might be toxic for you, people, places, memories, things that are generally just keeping you stuck to a level that you're really clearly ready to move on from. The time is now. Grab life by the reins, make the changes, move forward, and try not to be afraid. I think this card really does remind us that fear is a demon and it'll rob you of all your energy. So be very mindful of that. I think group number 4, that's all I have for you. To book a reading, visit rubyreadstarot.com. Leave the video a thumbs up, give me a like, share, subscribe, and do the bell notification thingy too if you want. I don't know. Okay, see you guys soon. Take care. Group number 5, I have for you the 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles. It's finally time. Mercury retrograde is bringing you an opportunity to get some control back of your life. Financially, I think it's a good time to re-look at the books, be more aware of your accounts, see where it is you can manage your finances a little bit better. If you were in a position of like transactionary energy, I think here. Like if you were in some sort of business relationship with someone, it seems as if it was out of balance, you get the opportunity, this Mercury retrograde, through looking at it, you get the opportunity to take back some control and balance in the situation. Maybe try and remove any burdens if you can also. Maybe looking at the financial give and take in your life, like maybe look over your bills. The sign of Cancer generally likes to collect money. Cancer is very good with collecting money. And that might be a lesson for you this Mercury retrograde. See where it is that you can streamline your accounts, where you can create new revenues of income or streams of income for yourself, or where it is that you can expand and develop on current ones. This might mean trying new things. It might even mean getting reconnected with old business relationships, old business acquaintances, finding new means of expanding on previous ideas. I've got here memories of love and fulfillment of wishes. That's really nice. So not only is this Cancer retrograde going to be quite a sentimental time, it might be one that you find yourself revisited of ghost of love's past. I think there might be a possibility for you to rekindle an old romance. There might be the revival of a relationship. Fulfillment of wishes, this could be a lot to do with, you know, things that you've been praying for recently, things that you've been wanting to manifest. Memories of love doesn't need to specify to a certain person. It can be about a certain time. With the Six of Pentacles here, it makes me think of a relationship with a good give and take balance. You might be finding out that this Mercury retrograde brings back a give and take with a partnership or a friendship, an alliance somehow. Could even have to do with business. I've got perseverance. So this Mercury retrograde, make sure you have really strapped yourself in and you are committed to the task at hand. I think a lot of the good that you can do in the situation is showing how committed and dedicated you are to it. And I think a lot of that might have to do with how hungry you are for this fulfillment of wishes. If you're trying to seek some sort of emotional, financial balance in your life, perseverance is a thing here. And I think memories of love is a lot to do with maybe you focusing on a time where you really enjoyed what you were doing, and seeing if there is more that you can do to bring about that kind of magic from the past into the present moment. And I think with the perseverance card here, you're really polishing yourself and acting like a bit of a buffer. If you keep at it, don't give up just yet. I think there's a lot more for you to do. And I think financially you might be seeing things kind of leveling themselves out. It is a good indication that finances can be coming into the equation. Fulfillment of wishes does make me think, do you see there's a little chest box here? Man is stood next to a chest. For me, that really signifies you're opening some sort of treasure chest. So maybe the universe is opening up a treasure chest to you. Perseverance, again, just really keep, there's a color red here, so get grounded. I want to say focus on your root chakra, your belonging, how worthy you feel of something, but just really keep at it. And service, perseverance and service. Work's about to get really good for you guys. Fulfillment of wishes and perseverance and memories of love. Like, this is like hitting the jackpot almost, because it's like everything aligned. This Mercury retrograde, everything aligns for you. The work that you've been doing with others, for others, with others, pays off, right? You see a real fulfillment of wishes, maybe a treasure chest of abundance opening up to you. Memories of love, really be quite sentimental and nostalgic in this time. Really focus on the beauty of life. Focus on home, what home means to you, what home feels like. Work, perseverance, or even if this is perseverance towards a relationship maybe. Let's get more clarification on that. Perseverance towards a relationship or what? I think perseverance for sure within the work that you're doing. If there is a project that you had started that you were unsure of, I would say release resistance. There's a lot that you can do just by having, you know, memories of love. Maybe reflecting back on a time where you were more successful, felt like you were more successful in a situation where it, you know, the same kind of ideologies apply. What can you take from memories, from something you've learned in the past? Listen, either way, fulfillment of wishes. You're entering a really nice time. New love or old love? I don't think this has even got to do with like love as in love. Maybe it might have something to do with that. Let's see. Memories of love, going back to, you know, Mercury retrogrades are about revisiting relationships with old partners. Ghosts of love's past, 6 of cups. Thank you, Tarot. The Tarot really has a sense of humor. Memories of love and the 6 of cups. Nostalgia, you're revisiting something from the past. This is now going to get interesting. 7 of Swords, the Hermit, and the Star card. Okay, a dream that might have involved Virgo, that might have involved you feeling like you had missed out on something really good. Or you were being a thief in the night and you ghosted a Virgo or an Aquarius. Or you choosing or playing in between a Virgo and an Aquarius. This is kind of smug, getting away with something. The Hermit card is, of course, secrecy, solitude, and silence. And the Star card is, again, fulfillment of wishes. To sum this Mercury retrograde up for you guys, something you're doing, your service, the service you're providing to the world, levels itself off. You find some sort of financial abundance. Where's the treasure chest gone? There it is. Fulfillment of wishes, the Star card. Something that you might really have been wanting to achieve. Something that might have been a dream, something that you've wanted to do for a really long time, happens. This Mercury retrograde makes it happen. Sentimentality. Looking at the past to find the answers for the future. Your own mood, your own state of mind, your own frame of mind. How much positivity are you bringing to your life at the moment? Just work through everything. Perseverance, whatever it is. If this is you lifting your mood, start some affirmations, and the perseverance in that is do it for 21 days. Or start a new diet and just really keep to the practice that you think is best for you at this time. There's something that you might be getting away from, but I don't think you'll be able to get away from yourself. So a bit of solitude, a bit of soul searching, the Hermit, prayer, wisdom, connecting with the divine, really in that crown chakra. A possible fulfillment of wishes and dreams coming true for you. I think that's all I have for you. For some reason I'm being told to say wear emerald and ruby. Wear emerald and ruby and get some red roses. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up. To book a reading, visit Rubyreadstarot.com. I think that's all I have for you guys, right? Thank you so much for watching, and I shall catch you again soon.